About, I think about 78% of the time we've been successful. I will say this, Justice Kennedy has been generally in our favor on probably 80% of those cases. When he dissented, he did so in a respectful way. That's the way he is as a judge. He did it with reason. We disagreed on the reason, obviously, but he was definitely what I would call a justice that was probably the most pivotal vote on so many cases. Look at this term. Now, this term, he ruled consistently conservative on a lot of cases. Not all of them, but on a lot of them.
Well, more than any other justice. For example, Roberts one time has gone with the more left-wing jurist on the court, and Clarence Thomas only 2 times, and Antonin Scalia only 2 times, and Sam Alito never. Absolutely 0.
Well, that's right. And here's what you have with Justice Kennedy. He, for instance, on the religion clauses, the First Amendment Establishment Clause for exercise of religion, he was most frequently very much pro-religious freedom. You saw that even this term. He also was very good on the speech cases. So I had a lot of those. And some of those were close cases. You saw that most recently in the National Institute for Family Life Advocates. I had a case, the companion case of that, up at the same time. That was up yesterday as well. Now that we won that, my case would be a reversal. So he was, but then there were other issues where he was not consistent with the conservative position. Having said that, the president has a unique opportunity to not only impact the force of the judiciary for generations, but also to appoint a justice in the mold of, this is what's important here, he's not obligated to appoint a justice in the mold of Justice Kennedy, although Justice Kennedy, on a lot of cases, got it right. But he tends to, President Trump, like the judicial philosophy of Antonin Scalia. You saw that with Justice Gorsuch. I think that's exactly what you're going to see with the next nominee. That type of...
How fast? I would assume the president has a short list already, and the president probably knew very well this was a possibility. I mean, rumors now have been running around for 2 weeks about Justice Kennedy. So I would assume the president probably has a name he could put forward any day.
Well, look, any president, this president in particular, is always prepared for what, at the end of the term, happens. And that is justices, especially with an aging court, justices that retire. That's what's happened here. So I know that the president has, I'm sure, a list of names and will put forward a nominee that he feels is most qualified to fill this spot and to advocate a judicial philosophy that matches his position as president of the United States.
Let me go back to Greg Jarrett. I mean, Greg, because the impact of this is now massive. I mean, we've seen so many 5-4 decisions.
Right.
This would almost lock in if the president picked somebody that had a originalist judicial philosophy like Antonin Scalia. This would lock in 5-4 pretty much.
Originalist, textualist, strict constructionist, use any term you want. That was the mold of Antonin Scalia. It's what Clarence Thomas adopts. Alito tends to be that as well. Roberts not so much, but still a conservative, and Gorsuch as well. So you want somebody in that mold, not in the mold of Anthony Kennedy, who was notoriously the swing. You never knew which way he was going to go. And the White House has a huge advantage here because they're experienced in already guiding a nominee successfully through the process in the U.S. Senate. And they already had a list. The president may turn to the second or third or fourth choice that he had behind Gorsuch. And these people have already been well vetted and re-vetted and vetted all over again because this was no secret that Kennedy was contemplating retirement. Many people thought he'd do it last term. He didn't. He did it this term. So they're well prepared for this. And the president, I guarantee you, will now be running on this issue as he endorses candidates and campaigns across the nation in the run-up to the midterm elections because all will depend on the U.S. Senate and Republicans holding it.
All right, stay right there. We'll continue with our panel, Jay Sekulow and, of course, Greg Jarrett and David Schoen. 800-941-SEAN is our number. You know, the president tweeted recently 101 utilities have now cut rates and accrediting the GOP tax cuts for this. And millions of Americans now are seeing lower monthly utility bills, and that means more money back in families' pockets. Now, the Democrats they keep saying they want their crumbs back. You can't get around the fact that tax cuts passed last December, and it is now creating an economic boom, and the economy that was sputtering is now flourishing. It's now beginning to roar every day. People are seeing wages rise, more jobs are being created, and as the president pointed out, our savings in utility bills matters. But the Democrats, guess what? They want to take their crumbs back, and they want to keep more of your money, and that's what this election is all about come the fall, and it's exactly what they're going to set out to do. Now, you can play a big part in stopping them. Just get energized yourself. I want you to check out the website, taxcutswork.com, because you can calculate how much you're actually putting in your pocket as a result of the tax cuts. 20,000 people have already done this, and we need as many signatures as possible. And you can email from that website, Congress, and tell your story at taxcutswork.com. All right, then get your friends to do this now. Go to the website, taxcutswork.com. One word, taxcutswork.com. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Justice Kennedy retiring. We'll have more in our final hour free-for-all and your calls straight ahead.